Good morning, class. Today we will start from the topic Northern Plain of India. So you have probably learned about many different kinds of landform which are the natural formations on the surface of the earth. So one such landform is the plain. So plain, they are large areas. Okay, as you can see here also in your image, that is mostly flat. So flat land might not seem very exciting, but plains are very common. Plains are found on every continent and cover more than one third of the land on earth. So here comes how plains are formed. So plain forms in many different ways. Some plains are formed as ice and water. They erode or wear away the dirt and the rocks on the highland, and you can see as you can see in this image, then the water and the ice, they carry the bits of this dirt or the rocks and deposit it into some another places. As the layer and the layer of this sediment, okay, it is deposited, the plain is formed. So volcanic activity can also form the plain. The lava plain forms when the lava pushes up from below the ground and flow across the land. So the movement of rivers, sometimes it also forms the plains. Many rivers move from side to side and they gradually erode the valley, creating the broad plain. As the river flood, it flow its bank. After the water withdraw, the sediments remain. If a river flood repeatedly over time, the sediment will build up into a flood plain. An alluvial plain, you can see, is formed as the base of the mountain, water carrying sediment, okay, that fall downhill until it hits the flat land. So then it spread out, depositing the sediments in a shape of a fan. So now we talk about the formation of the northern plain. So you will see, due to the uplift of the Himalayas in the Tethys Sea, the northern part of the Indian peninsula got subsided, and or you can see it got sink or tend toward downward and formed a large basin. That basin, whatever being formed, okay, as you can see here also in the pictures also. So here that basin is been formed or it was filled with the sediments, okay, that was brought from the river which came from the northern mountains in the north and from the peninsula in the south. So as you can see this northern plain, the drainage system of the northern plain, it drained all the northern part of the India. So these extensive alluvial deposit led to the formation of the northern plain of India. So the northern plain of India, it is formed by the three river systems: Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, along with its tributaries. The northern plain is formed of alluvial soil. So the alluvial soil of the northern plain is formed due to the depositions of the fine silt that were brought down by the Himalayan rivers. So the river, it deposits the very fine silt which we call alluvium in their plains during the course of their journey, the starting from its source in the mountain. The deposition of alluvium in a vast basin Lying at the foothills of the Himalayas over millions of years, it formed the fertile plains. So the northern plain, okay, it's spread over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. The plain being about 2400 kilometer long, and you can see 240 to 320 kilometer broad. It's a densely populated physiographic divisions with a rich soil cover combined with adequate water supply, and you will see the favorable climatic condition. So it is agriculturally a very protected part of India. So the rivers, they are coming from the northern mountains. They are involved in the depositional work. In the lower course, due to the gentle slope, the velocity of the river, it decreases, which result in the formation of the riverine island. The rivers, okay, in their lower course, they split into the numerous channels. As you can see here, they split into the numerous channels due to the deposition of the silt. So these channels, they are known as the distributaries. On the basis of the location, the northern plain, you can see, can be classified or divided into 3 categories. So you will see here the first category Punjab, second Ganga, and the third is the Brahmaputra plain. So the river Indus, along with its tributaries, they form the Punjab plain, whereas the river Ganga, along with its tributaries, they form the Ganga plain, and the river Brahmaputra with its tributary, it forms the Brahmaputra plain. The western part of the northern plain, it is referred as Punjab plains, formed by the river Indus and its tributaries, and the largest part of this plain, they lies in Pakistan. The Indus and its tributaries, the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Satluj, the Byas, they originate in the Himalayas, and these sections of the plain, it is dominated by the Doab region. So it is divided into many Doabs. Doabs, it means two, Abs means water or river. So a region here you can see, or the land, it's lying between the 2 rivers, okay, that we call the Doab. The Ganga plain, it extends between river Ghaggar and Tista river. It spread over the state of North India. As you can see, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, partially Jharkhand and West Bengal. Brahmaputra plain, this is also known as the Brahmaputra valley or the Assam valley or the Assam plains. As you can see, the most of the Brahmaputra valley is situated in Assam. Its western boundary, okay, when we talk about this western boundary, is formed by the Indo-Bangladesh border as well as the boundary of the lower Ganga plain. Its eastern boundary is formed by the Purvanchal hills. It is in aggradational plains, okay, aggradational plains that is built up by the depositional work of the Brahmaputra and its tributaries. The northern plains are generally described as a flat land with no variation in its relief. It is not true. These vast plains, they also have the diverse relief features. According to this variation, in the relief features. The northern plain, it can be divided into the 4 regions, as you can see here, the Babar, the Tarai, the Bangar and the Khadar. So the Babar here, the river, okay, as you can see, the river after descending from the Himalayas or the mountain, it deposits the pebbles here in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 km in width, that is lying parallel to the slope of the Shivalik, which we call the Babar. So here in this belt, all the stream, it disappeared. The reason is the porosity of the pebble is fixed in the pattern that most of the streams, they sink and they flow underground. So therefore the area is characterized by dry river course, except in the rainy seasons. So the Babar tract is not suitable for agriculture. Only big trees with large roots, they thrive in this region. Now south to this belt, the streams and the rivers, okay, which disappear here, they re-emerge and they create a wet, swampy and the marshy regions known as the Tarai. It is characterized by the re-emergence of the underground stream of the Babar belt. The re-emerged water transformed the large area along the river into badly drained marshy lands. Once covered with a dense forest, most of the Tarai land, especially in Punjab, UP and Uttarakhand, has been reclaimed and turned into agricultural land over a period of time. The largest part of the northern plain is formed of the older alluvium and they lie above the flood plain. Okay, so here you will see the flood plain, as it's a flat area that is next to the river or an area of a land that is adjacent to a river. So here you will see that the larger part of this plain, okay, it is formed by the old alluvium. They lie above the flood plain and they present a terrace-like features, okay. This part is known as the Bhangar. Now you will see Khadar. It's a new and younger deposits of the alluvium soils on the flood plain. The soil is renewed every year and this makes them the most fertile soils of the Ganga. As you can see, the river deposits the sediment into the floodplain, which we call the Khadar.